Hi everybody, it's Terry. Hey, don't look at my double chin. I just want to do a quick intro. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. Today I am going to, among other things that I put on this video, but I'm going to make a chevron sign out of bamboo sticks. So I'm going to, after I warmly welcome you all, I'm going to put the camera down here. And we have these, I got these off of Amazon. I don't know if you can see, I don't have a lot of room here. The SKU number on there. And this is a piece of a pallet that fell apart. I tried to salvage it. It was in the storage room of the house. These bamboo things are supposed to be 12 inches, but they're not. They're 11 and a little bit more than 11 3/4, and some of them are bowed. So I will be using the, what is this thing called? Is this the, what is this thing called? I don't know. Anyways, I got it from Amazon. It is awesome. I won't link it in my video because I don't get paid, to do so. I do love it. It cuts through these bamboo sticks like nobody's business. So I'm going to be measuring out. See, a lot of these are bowed, but that's okay. They're just flimsy little bamboo sticks. We're going to be gluing them. They are approximately 11 7/8. So they're not consistent. I've gotten some that were longer and some that, yeah, this is 11 6/8, which would, as fractions go, you can, whatever. But anyways, I don't need to measure this. This is just a piece of wood. You can use anything you want. You can use a Dollar Tree sign. You just need a flat surface, because we're going to, like I said, we're going to do a chevron sign. So I'm going to take the skewers, and I'm going to cut them straight close to the center, which I found if I stick with 5 at about 5 7/8, seems to be about half on most of them, give or take a 32nd or a 16th, depending upon the skewer. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stop this, and then I'll be able to go into fast forward mode. And other than that, you're going to need some wood glue and some hot glue and something sturdy to cut with. Before I got this, I did use the X-Acto knife. Eventually you're going to need some paint, whatever colors you choose. I'm going to be using some apple barrel, but I'll show it to the camera before I use it. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. I just love working with wood. I hope to get better at it as I go. It's very time consuming when you measure and cut, and the end results are so pretty. So I said on there I didn't know what the name of that thing right there is, but it's miter shears, and I did get them off of Amazon. I think I paid $30 for them, but they're worth every penny, because you can cut popsicle sticks like this, the bamboo skewers, if I said that right, bamboo skewers, and tumbling tower blocks. It'll cut those in whatever angle you want them cut at. So anyways, of course you're doing a 45-degree angle, and anytime you do 45-degree angle, it always butts up with another 45-degree angle. There I had it just a little bit squared on the end, so I put it back in. This has to be pointed in order to fit, up against each other correctly. There, my hand's getting a little tired. Because I believe it's 22 sticks, like this. So I did a lot. I didn't do them all at once. I had done a few at a time and left my hand to get better. Okay, so I started off sideways here, which would have took a lot less time, but look at how the ends would have been. I would have ended up having to cut those all off using my saw. So then I decided to go with the vertical. Is that vertical? Yeah. And that's better. So there's a little crack in my wood right there that I was lining it up on that like that was the center, and then I realized, hey, wait a minute, I didn't find my center yet. So anyway, you want to find the center of whatever you're working on, and there I'm just measuring in different places to make sure it's the same, it stays the same, and it does. So anyways, put your get your center all the way up the board so that you can draw a line, so you know where to place your bamboo sticks. At one point in making this, I somehow got off track, and it's right at the start. I ended up taking them off because there was only just a couple on. It seems like I think it did it twice. There was only just a couple on at the time. I didn't get the very first one right where it should be, so I didn't have it. Like when they go together, it's like it's open to a certain degree. I didn't have that correct when I started off with my first one, so it caused the rest of them to not be okay. So when you're putting them on, you want to see the line that you drew right in the center of your two sticks. So I think it was the one, when you're looking at it, it was the one on the left side that I just didn't get situated right. Now it's easy to find your your angle that you should be at when you place these two together. So it's easier to work with two of them. Gosh, I'm trying to explain that. So I put one down just to show where the other one goes. So I had already put glue on that one, but I don't recommend that you do that. I recommend that you don't put the glue on until you're absolutely ready to place that piece down. But it was something about right there, I didn't open it wide enough or something. And there I'm just checking to see if my hot glue was even on. I put hot glue at the tip, and then hot glue up by my fingers there. And at some points hot glue wasn't on there. It was off the board. So I did check periodically, but as I got closer to the top, some of the spots I put the hot glue on didn't even touch the wood. So you want to be careful of that. So I tried to put my fingers, after a minute here, I tried to put my fingers where the wood ended. And I think seriously what messed me up at the bottom before I realized, or I'm going to realize it here in a moment, is that crack right in the, see, I'm noticing that it's not. The pencil mark is off, which you can't see. Oh yeah, there it is too. The pencil mark is off to where my wood pieces are. So I shrugged my shoulders and I kept going until I believe I went off camera and pulled them off and fixed them. I had to pull off just one side, the other side was fine. It's just one. If you get one of them the slightest out of place, then the rest of them don't go on like they're supposed to. And then somewhere towards the top it happened again, and I didn't have to tear them all up. I only had to tear up one or two of them because I noticed it right away and I fixed it right away. excuse me. I do believe well, I know I did. I tore it apart off camera. And I should have done it on camera so you could see the blooper. Just to know, you know, we all make mistakes. We're all good at mistakes. I just realized that my microphone is way over there, and you probably can't even hear what I'm saying. Gosh darn it. And you keep going and going with this. And, you know, until you get up to the top, I just, you know, cut out a lot of the... No, I didn't cut out the video. I'd stop recording and did a bunch of them and then come back on to do more. I'm not that good of a video editor. But I know it's long and boring if you just watch somebody do the same thing over and over. But I do, you know, this is an instructional video. So, I mean, obviously I want to do what I'm doing so you can see what I'm doing. So, anyways, this really took my mind off of things. I didn't get bored with it. It wasn't, anytime I work with wood like that, it seems like I've met my, yeah, see, I'm holding my finger right where the wood comes. See what I'm doing? I'm grabbing it right at the edge of the wood, so that way I know where, you know, where to put my hot glue. And I had so much wood glue, sometimes it just comes running out of that Gorilla Glue. It just comes running out. And I noticed that with my other wood glue too, so it's not just Gorilla Glue. You know, I suppose you could just leave those pieces out to the side and decorate it that way somehow, but I just want the actual piece of the crate, the size. So anyways, I cut that off. I thought, you know what, maybe if I cut these off, they'll already be at the right angle, because it looked like it was the right angle. So I cut these pieces off, and voila, they really are at the right angle. So I had to sand them down a couple times because my cut wasn't very straight. But just to fill these in instead of cutting more skewers. Oh, that one worked out really well. It must be the next one I end up having to sand. But, you know, instead of cutting two or one, we've only been one skewer, I just went ahead and cut pieces off to fill in the rest of the tippy top. So, the tippy top or the boopy bottom, I don't know. Whichever way you end up hanging the sign, it could be the side, it could be the right side, it could be the left side, it could be the tippy top or the bottom. Alright, so I'm just going to take the ones that I just put down and cut them down. Of course, I waited for the glue to dry. This is fast motion, but the hot glue dries up pretty quick. But, you know, just be careful if you do this that you don't pull it off. And, you know, you're just scoring it a few times and then breaking it off. And it just amazes me how it fits in there like that. So this one didn't fit as well. I could see that right there. So I'm just going to sand it and try to keep it as flat as possible. You know, when you're sanding, because if not, you'll sand your tip off, or, yeah. You can't see it on the video, but it was rounded just a little bit. Just enough to keep the tip from fitting in there perfectly. Oh, there it is. That's perfect. That's perfect. Then after we get everything on there, we're going to cut the edges off. I used wire cutters. There, for my sanding, I had to wipe my table off and cut these tiny little pieces off. You know what? It works, and I think it turned out looking really well. I've wanted to do a chevron for a while. Every time I look, on Pinterest, and I see woodworking or palette. What the heck am I trying to say? I just woke up. It's 9:30 in the morning, but I just woke up. I took a nap. Anyways, I see, it'll be like 100 different palette projects or easy things to do with wood, and I always see the palette or the chevron pictures, and I'm always like, I'm gonna do one of those. So I did, and it actually is easy to do. It's time consuming, very easy. So you don't have to be mechanically inclined. Sorry about my phone ringing. You don't have to be, have any special skills or be mechanically inclined. I didn't use a saw or anything. I just used handheld tools. And, if you don't have the miter shears, so here I am at the bottom. That one was too short, so I did end up cutting another one. Excuse me, cutting another bamboo stick. Or two. Yeah, I think that's how I reached the 22, because I already had 20 of them up there. But yeah, you don't have to have any special skills. You just follow this video. If you don't have the miter shears, you can use your, you can always use a scroll saw. They're such tiny pieces, they have those little tiny saws. Or you can use wire cutters, and this is probably thin enough that you could use a pair of scissors to cut through. So, but we want to cover that whole end down there, because once we're done, when we trim this up, we want them to be squared. Now, my choice of wood has a slanted piece down at that end, so my wood underneath is not squared. You see, it's cut at an angle from that crate that I saved it from. Most of the crate had to be thrown away because there was water damage at one point in my it was in the storage room, but there was water damage down there at one point. The basement flooded up a little bit, not super bad, but the crate got neglected and got kind of shoved in the back behind a bunch of stuff when they were moving stuff to get to the whatever it was. I think it was the pump had went out. So it got pushed to the back and got waterlogged. I did save another crate and made a paint shelf out of it. It holds all my little, I'm going to say apple barrel paints, but whatever that size, the smaller size paint containers. And it looks really cool too. But I actually used, I don't know how much they cost at Walmart. I think they're $4 for $1 for those little rulers. The rulers that I use in almost every video of mine. They're real cheap rulers. But I use that on there to hold the, as the paint wall, to hold the paint from falling out. But I didn't stain them or anything. It's just light colored, and the crate is real dark colored, so I didn't really finish it to look cool. I keep thinking about it, I have all these saws and I have this wood. Why don't I fix that up? But that's me down here crafting all day, and I'll tell you, some days I don't have anything to do down there. But if you look around, there's probably hundreds of things to do here. So anyways, yeah, just go ahead and cut all these off flush with your wood, or however you do it. Suppose if you used a bigger piece of wood, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it would look like if you had them all glued down to a piece of wood and you didn't have to trim any of it off. I'm not sure what that would look like. I think it looks cool in the shorter pieces. And the possibilities are endless as to what you can use this for. So anyways, I'm going to paint, and I took out a bunch of blues. I haven't even turned my light on down here. I have Summer Sky, Electric Blue, Sky Blue, which Summer Sky and Sky Blue are different colors. And I have Blue Bonnet and Mermaid Parade. So I started with a darker color, thinking of the ombre effect. And at one point, as I get up towards the top of that, hey, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 paints. I go ahead and put some water in because I want to distress this. And if you use water to water your paint down, it's real easy when you wipe it. It'll already give it that distressed look. So that's what I did. And plus I go back over it later with the sandpaper, and it turns out so nice. That color right there is probably my favorite. And I believe that's Mermaid Parade. And anyways, so I kind of went lighter with that. There's my water. It's just normal tap water, even though it'll say distilled or some kind of purified drinking water or something on it. It's just tap water. I just bring it down here in a jug because I don't have a sink down here. But anyway, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. I just went with different blues and watered them down, do my paint job. So we had a little commotion going on in here last night. Nothing, it wasn't anything major, and it wasn't anything that doesn't happen at other people's houses, but my son and his wife had a minor spat in there, right next door to me there. It's just one of those things. It's a situation that we've all been in when, we've argued and, said this and that and whatnot. So I was a little distracted here. I guess that's my whole point, was I'm just a little distracted. I can hear what's going on. I wish I couldn't, and I wished I hadn't come downstairs, but I did, and I was already in the video. But everything turned out fine. I mean, everything's fine, but I wasn't concentrating on what I was doing, so I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to how far or how many slats I colored each color. I should have went with more. I should have done more of the first, more of the second, more of the third, so that it all would have come up with the 5 colors. But I didn't. So at the end of it, when I've already done all of the colors, I go ahead and start making my own. And I think the one that I liked the best after the lightest color, which was Sky Blue, I believe, it was Summer Sky. I went ahead and mixed that with the Electric Blue. Excuse me. I mixed that with the Electric Blue, darn it, and come up with my own color. And it's really pretty. It's a really pretty color. So anyways, that's what I did. So the ombre effect, was dark to light. But I ended up going back with dark because I just didn't, I just wasn't paying good enough attention. But it still ended up looking really good. It just wasn't what I had planned on. I had planned on this beautiful ombre picture, whatever. What do you even call this? Is it a picture? But anyways, yeah, so I just started mixing blues, come up with different colors, even though they are dark, and I wanted light. I'm going to keep saying that. Anyway, it still turned out looking really well. Really good, I should say, not well. It can look well, it can't see. But there we go, made it a little bit lighter. Put that on. And then I kind of brushed that over some of the darker colors. And then right there in the center stayed really light. So I just kind of brushed this around a little bit, and it actually, made it look really pretty. So, then I'm going to go ahead and sand it. And I think it looked fantastic after I sanded it. It looks really rustic. In the center, where some of the sticks, when they were cut, they kind of splintered just the tiniest bit, but it was all right in the center. So I do go up with a piece of sandpaper and kind of sand that up a little bit, and that's where I'm going to focus on after I distressed it. I guess I didn't. Anyway, bamboo skewers. I think this is what these originally were. Started off as bamboo skewers, and they just don't have the tip on them. Because I've bought a bunch at a Chinese, it's a big tent at flea market. I found the fat skewers like this, and they're pointed. And then after I started using the ones that I had, I was like, oh man, I need to get some more of those. So I found them on Amazon. I also had someone who watched my video commented and told me that she had found them on Amazon also. So thank you so much. And anyways, they're really easy to work with. When you stain them, they look just like regular wood. So I'm going to use burnt umber. That's mostly burnt umber and water. There originally was a tiny drop of black in that, but it's probably to the point where I've done burnt umber and watered the black right out of it. But anyways, I like this method because it's there's no waiting time. You put it on and it dries really, really fast. If you use like the Waverly Antique Wax, it doesn't have a super long drying time on it either, I've noticed. But this I feel like it dries quicker, and the glue will stick to it. The hot glue sticks to it better than it does with any other kind of product. In a short period of time, I should say. So if I only let this set in an hour, my glue is going to adhere to it really nicely. With something else, you have that waxy coat, and your glue might not adhere to it the same. And I'm relying on wood glue with a dab of hot glue, but the hot glue is what I'm using to hold it on, until the other glue sets. So, this was one of the spots I was like, wait, I'm going to put a frame on this, but how do I go about doing this? How far out does it need to be? Because my my other sticks have to go in there. And I thought, well, let me just hurry up and put this side on. And it took a little concentration to figure it out. So I'm picking out my hot glue that gushed out. I know if I don't get it out of there before it gets super hard, it's harder than heck to get out of there. You have to pretty much cut it out. So every time it gushes out, I stop and pick it out. So I've got a gap up there, that's what I'm showing you. So I'm going to pull that first side up just a little bit because I think it come up crooked. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling that up and then I'm picking off the hot glue so that I can re-glue it. And it, you know, and I had to use a little bit of force to move it without picking the whole stick up. I just kind of curved it inwards a little bit, and you can kind of tell it, but for video purposes it's fine. Plus it's gonna go, I think I'm gonna put it on my bathroom wall, so you look up and it says, hey, hello there. Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do later. I'm gonna put a Cricut design on it that says hello there. It turns out really, really cute. Which actually is almost to that point where I'm going to do that. So I'm going to quit talking and go live while I do the Cricut Studio, and then I'll be back after that's done, after I'm done, to talk to you some more. But once you get the first couple pieces on, then the last piece is a piece of cake, because it's like a puzzle piece. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking, I'll be back. Okay, so hopefully I hold the camera steady enough here, but my measurements are 10 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm gonna go to images here, paper here, and I already typed in, where's my mouse at? I already typed in up here, hello, and I have this one here which I like, hello there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use that, and then I add it to my canvas. So since I have 4 3/4, let me go ahead and big screen here. I'm going to go to, and then I'm looking at my measurement right here, of course. I'm trapped right here. My mouse is trapped. Anyways, so I have 10 3/4. I don't want it to be like that big. I'm going to make it about 10, I guess. Oh, I can't see if I'm even on the screen or not. Here, this is trial and error here with my USB thing. So anyways, I have 4 3/4, and I'm at 3 4.31 or 0.431. Sorry, it's early. And you know, if you want to change and make it longer, you just unclick the lock here and, you know, spread it out whichever way you want it to be, you know, by this or that. So I'm going to go to about 4 right here, and then I'm at 10 1/2, so I kind of want to bring that in some. Yeah, so we're a little over 10 and a little over 4, so I'm going to go ahead and make that. Maybe it's running slow for some reason. I'm not sure if it's my internet or if it's Cricut. It did do an update. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. Okay, now we're just going to try to get it on there as straight as possible. I don't know why my voice got so loud right there. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you have, since you did the chevrons, you have the point in the center where the wood or the bamboo meets. Geesh. All of a sudden I can't talk. Anyways, where it comes together, So it's like a line going straight down the middle, which made this really easy to place. I just left about, an eighth or a little more of an inch from the H and the O, and that's how I made sure that it was straight across. And then I did the same thing with the lines on the sides. I made sure that they looked like they were equal, equally distant from each side. So that was the first time I used that piece of transfer tape, and it was nice. I use that tape until it's so bad I might as well just use my fingers. But I'm so frugal when it comes to throwing stuff away. I just never do. And I think this sign looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to put some Mod Podge on it to seal my design down, my Cricut design down. You see me pick it up, like I'm going to put more on there, and then I changed my mind, because I covered the words really well. You can't really tell in the video, but I covered everything up really well, and I thought, well, I'm going to put some more on there, and then I decided, no, I'm not going to. I'll wait for it to dry, and then I'll add another, good coat. Excuse me. I'll add another good coat to it. Let it dry completely, then I'll take it up outside, of course, and spray it with it's Rust-Oleum matte. It's a sealer. I can't remember the exact name, and I don't have the can right here in front of me, so that's how I remember things, is by not putting anything away. That's not true. Sometimes I put stuff away and I can never find it again. So it's all or nothing. Either put everything away and never know where it's at, or I put nothing away and it's in my way all the time. So anyways, I decided on rope, and I think this rope makes it look really rustic. So I believe it's 1.5 inches in from each side. My sign is approximately 11 3/4 inches long, and at first I'm like, well, where's the center point? And then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to do that, because I'm putting the rope on the top part of it. There's a ledge there where the bamboo and the wood, so I went 1.5 inches in the start of my rope, and then I did that on the other side, and it matched up perfectly. And for real, people, if you've made it this far in my video, I absolutely love you. I'm in love with you. But anyways, I do appreciate you so much. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe. I need more subscribers. I assume that someday it'll happen. At least, if I didn't think that, I wouldn't still be making videos. But anyways, I was going to put another video on this, but I decided not to. Just do the one and be done with it. So anyways, thank you for watching.